Submarine cartel. Florida Keys, 42 nautical miles south of Key West, 02:19 hours local time. Coast Guard Station Islamorada receives distress call. Fishing vessel reports strange object surfacing nearby. Description doesn't match standard maritime traffic. Cylindrical hull, no visible markings. Conning tower design unusual. Then identification comes through. It's a submarine. Military design, surfacing in U.S. coastal waters. And it's not American. Navy P-8 Poseidon diverts immediately. Overhead in 18 minutes. Visual confirmation shocks everyone. Diesel-electric submarine. Soviet-era design. Venezuelan naval markings barely visible on faded hull. But here's what changes everything. The submarine isn't alone, and it's not on training mission. Pentagon Alert, where we expose the threats hiding beneath the surface. Welcome back. What I'm about to reveal represents the most dangerous evolution in narco-trafficking ever documented. Venezuelan military submarines, running cocaine and weapons, operating in U.S. coastal waters. And intelligence suggests 2 more are heading north right now. This isn't smuggling. This is state-sponsored underwater narcotics warfare. Let me show you exactly what's happening. The surface contact. Fishing vessel. Miss Patricia out of Marathon. Captain Tom Rodriguez, 34-year commercial fishing veteran, running night operation for yellowfin tuna. 02:06 hours. Rodriguez spots unusual wake pattern. Too large for dolphin pod. Too slow for speedboat. Then, massive shape breaks surface 200 meters off starboard bow. Dark hull. Water cascading off sides, diesel exhaust visible. Rodriguez grabs radio immediately. Coast Guard emergency channel. This is Miss Patricia. I have submarine contact. Repeat, submarine surfacing near my position. Coast Guard operator thinks it's joke. Submarines don't surface near Florida Keys. Wrong ocean. Wrong scenario. Rodriguez insists, provides GPS coordinates, describes what he sees. Operator realizes he's serious. Alert goes out across all military channels. Unknown submarine. U.S. coastal waters. All units respond. The identification. Coast Guard cutter. Richard Etheridge, based in Key West, deploys within 12 minutes. Fast response boat launches. Maximum speed toward contact location. Simultaneously, Navy assets activate. P-8 Poseidon Maritime Patrol aircraft scrambles from NAS Jacksonville. USS Billings, Independence-class littoral combat ship, exits Port Everglades at emergency speed. P-8 arrives first. Sensor operator Lieutenant Amy Foster activates multispectral imaging, synthetic aperture radar, electro-optical cameras. Visual confirmation at 0224 hours. Submarine. Approximately 60 meters length. Diesel-electric propulsion evident from exhaust signature. Foster zooms imaging systems. Hull markings visible despite deterioration. Venezuelan naval ensign. Hull number RC2. That identifies it. Sábalo. Type 209 diesel-electric submarine. Commissioned 1976. Venezuelan Navy service since 1977. But Sábalo was officially decommissioned in 2013, supposedly non-operational, stripped for parts. Except it's not decommissioned, it's right here, operating in U.S. waters, very much functional. Which smuggling method is hardest to detect? A. Semi-submersibles. B. Military submarines. C. Fast boats. The confrontation. Coast Guard cutter arrives at 0241 hours, establishes position 500 meters from submarine. Floodlights illuminate target. Commander Sarah Mitchell takes radio. Standard maritime protocol. Unidentified submarine. This is United States Coast Guard. You are operating in U.S. territorial waters. Identify yourself immediately and prepare for boarding. No response. The submarine maintains surface position, engines running, but no communications. Mitchell tries again. Spanish this time. Submarino venezolano, Sábalo, identifíquese, prepare para inspección. This time response comes, heavily accented English. We are experiencing mechanical failure, require assistance, cannot submerge. Mitchell doesn't buy it. Submarines don't just happen to have mechanical failures in U.S. coastal waters, not Venezuelan boats operating 1,500 miles from home port. She requests authorization for forced boarding, gets approval within 8 minutes. Boarding team prepares. The boarding. Coast Guard Maritime Security Response Team, 8 operators, specialized training, prepared for everything. Lieutenant Jake Morrison leads team, former Navy SEAL, 5 years MSRT experience, 73 successful boardings. But never a submarine, this is first time. The team approaches in rigid hull inflatable boat, weapons ready, night vision engaged, tactical formation maintained. They reach submarine hull, secure boarding ladder, begin ascent to conning tower. Venezuelan crew watches from deck, 6 men visible, wearing mismatched civilian clothing, no proper naval uniforms. Morrison's instincts scream warning. These aren't regular Navy personnel. Something is very wrong. Stay with me. What they find inside this submarine reveals an entire underground network. Inside the submarine. Morrison's team secures conning tower, enters main hull through forward hatch. What they find inside confirms every suspicion. The submarine interior has been heavily modified, standard naval equipment removed, cargo spaces expanded, makeshift storage systems installed throughout. And the cargo? Waterproof packages, hundreds of them, stacked floor to ceiling in every available space. Morrison cuts open sample package, white powder, field test kit deployed, result immediate, cocaine, 99% purity. But that's not all. Aft compartment contains weapons, AK-47 assault rifles, RPG launchers, heavy machine guns, crates of ammunition. This isn't simple drug smuggling. This is major trafficking operation with military-grade weapons trafficking included. Final tally shocks everyone. 3.2 metric tons of cocaine, 47 assault rifles, 12 RPG launchers, 8 heavy machine guns, 15,000 rounds of ammunition. Street value of drugs alone, $180 million. Weapons, untraceable military hardware worth millions more on black market. The crew interrogation. 18 personnel aboard submarine, 14 Venezuelan nationals, 4 Colombian citizens, none wearing proper military uniforms. Captain identifies himself as Commander Luis Vargas, Venezuelan Navy, claims submarine on training mission, mechanical failure forced surface. Morrison doesn't buy it. Training mission with 3 tons of cocaine aboard? Vargas changes story. Claims he was forced, threatened by cartels, family held hostage, no choice but to comply. Also doesn't ring true. This operation required extensive planning, navigation expertise, military coordination. DEA agents arrive via helicopter, begin detailed interrogations. Stories start conflicting, contradictions emerge, truth slowly surfaces. The operation structure. Pentagon Alert has obtained classified interrogation transcripts. What they reveal is stunning organizational sophistication. The operation was planned 6 months in advance. Venezuelan military officers recruited directly by Cartel del Sol. Payment: $2 million per successful voyage. Sábalo was never decommissioned. It was transferred to covert operations, maintained in hidden facility, operated by hybrid crew of naval personnel and cartel operatives. This was third successful voyage. Previous 2 delivered cocaine to West African distribution networks. This run targeted U.S. markets directly. Route: departed La Guaira Naval Base under darkness, transited Caribbean submerged, surfaced only for ventilation and navigation updates, planned landfall in remote Florida Keys location. But something went wrong. Diesel engine failure, battery depletion, forced emergency surface, wrong location, U.S. Coast Guard detection. Mission failed, cargo seized, crew captured, operation exposed. How long can diesel-electric submarines operate submerged? A. 8 hours. B. 72 hours. C. 2 weeks. But here's the nightmare scenario. This submarine wasn't alone. The intelligence breakthrough. NSA signals intelligence intercepted Venezuelan military communications immediately after submarine capture. Emergency transmissions, encrypted but partially decrypted. Key phrases: Sábalo compromised, abort remaining operations, recall Sierra 3 and Sierra 7. Sierra 3 and Sierra 7. 2 more submarines, currently operating, heading toward U.S. waters. Intelligence analysts cross-reference with known Venezuelan naval assets. Sierra 3 identified as Caribe, sister ship to Sábalo. Sierra 7 is Tiburón, newer Russian-built Kilo-class boat. Both supposedly decommissioned years ago, both actually operational, both currently inbound to United States, and both carrying similar cargo, cocaine, weapons, millions in street value. The hunt begins immediately. The search operation. U.S. Navy launches Operation Silent Sweep, comprehensive anti-submarine warfare campaign. Objective: locate and intercept 2 Venezuelan submarines before they reach U.S. waters. Assets deployed. USS Helena, Los Angeles-class attack submarine, already on patrol in Caribbean, redirected to intercept course. USS Paul Hamilton, Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, equipped with advanced sonar systems, establishes search pattern. P-8 Poseidon aircraft, multiple flights, continuous coverage, deploying sonobuoys across Caribbean approaches. Coast Guard cutters, 3 additional vessels, screening Florida Straits and Keys approaches. Search area, 50,000 square nautical miles, 2 submarines, somewhere in that vastness. Finding needles in underwater haystack. The submarine technology. Venezuelan submarines are old but capable. Type 209 and Kilo-class designs proven reliable despite age. Type 209 specifications: 60 meters length, 1,400 tons displacement, 8 torpedo tubes, diesel-electric propulsion, maximum submerged speed, 22 knots, operational depth 250 meters. Kilo class specifications: 73 meters length, 3,000 tons displacement, 6 torpedo tubes, improved quieting technology, maximum submerged speed 17 knots, operational depth 300 meters. Both designs very quiet when running on batteries, difficult to detect with passive sonar. Active sonar can find them but announces searcher's location. Cat and mouse game, underwater chess match, patience and precision required. The first detection. 48 hours after Sábalo capture. P-8 Poseidon drops sonobuoy pattern 120 miles southeast of Key West. Sonobuoy 47 detects contact, submerged, slow speed, 6 knots, diesel-electric signature, target bearing 340 degrees. Acoustic analysis confirms submarine. Size matches Type 209 profile. Likely, Caribe. P-8 coordinates with USS Paul Hamilton. Destroyer moves to intercept. Active sonar engaged. Contact confirmed. Submarine at 180 feet depth. Attempting evasion. Increasing speed to 12 knots. Hamilton pursues. Maintains sonar contact. Forces submarine toward surface. No escape routes available. If you believe underwater threats require immediate response, type Pentagon Alert. The second submarine. While Hamilton tracks Caribe, USS Helena detects different contact, 200 miles northeast of previous location. Submarine, larger signature, Kilo class profile, must be Tiburón. Commander Rebecca Walsh, Helena's captain, maneuvers for optimal tracking position, maintains passive sonar contact, doesn't want to spook target. This submarine more capable, newer technology, better training evident in crew performance, evasion tactics sophisticated. Walsh shadows contact for 6 hours. Plots course, predicts destination, target heading for remote area near dry Tortugas. She coordinates with surface forces, establishes intercept plan, waits for optimal moment. The Caribe Intercept. USS Paul Hamilton forces Caribe to surface through aggressive sonar prosecution. Submarine can't maintain stealth under continuous active sonar pinging. Venezuelan boat surfaces at 17:34 hours, 85 miles south of Marathon. International waters barely. Coast Guard cutter. James deploys boarding team immediately. Helicopter delivers additional DEA agents. This crew doesn't resist. They know game is over. Surrender immediately upon boarding. Cargo inspection reveals 2.8 metric tons of cocaine, 39 assault rifles, 8 RPG launchers, similar profile to Sábalo. Captain claims mechanical issues forced surface. Nobody believes him. Evidence shows deliberate trafficking operation. Second submarine interdicted. 2 down, 1 to go. The Tiburón hunt. Tiburón proves more elusive. Kilo-class submarines designed for difficult detection. Soviet engineering at its finest. USS Helena maintains distant contact. Too close risks detection. Too far risks losing target. Walsh plays it perfectly. Positions Helena between target and destination. Forces submarine toward surface forces. P-8 Poseidon establishes overhead surveillance. Magnetic anomaly detection activated. Searching for submarine's magnetic signature. Contact intermittent. Submarine diving deep, using thermal layers, exploiting ocean conditions. Professional crew, experienced commander. This won't be easy intercept. The tactical challenge. Venezuelan submarine commander knows he's being tracked, attempts various evasion techniques. Bottom submarine on shallow reef, sits motionless, hopes passive sonar loses contact in background noise. Doesn't work, Helena's sonar too sophisticated, contact maintained. Submarine runs at high speed briefly, creates noise signature matching surface vessels, attempts to confuse tracking. Also fails, U.S. operators experienced, recognize deception immediately. Then submarine tries communication, surfaces antenna, transmits emergency message, claims political asylum, requests safe passage. Tactical ploy, buying time, hoping to reach international waters where interdiction becomes complicated. Walsh doesn't fall for it, maintains pursuit, coordinates with surface forces. What's the most effective anti-submarine tactic? A. Active sonar. B. Sonobuoy patterns. C. Submarine versus submarine. The final surface. 72 hours after initial Sábalo capture, Tiburón finally runs out of options. Battery power depleted, air quality deteriorating, crew exhausted. Commander makes decision. The submarine surfaces, 40 miles west of dry Tortugas, international waters, but doesn't matter. U.S. Coast Guard has maritime interdiction authority under anti-trafficking agreements. Venezuelan government already notified, expressed no objection to boarding. Translation: Caracas disavowing operation, claiming rogue elements, washing hands of entire situation. Coast Guard cutter Richard Etheridge reaches submarine in 22 minutes. Boarding team deploys without resistance. This crew also surrenders immediately. No weapons displayed, no hostile actions. Professional military comportment. The final cargo. Tiburón. Cargo most sophisticated yet. 4.1 metric tons of cocaine. Highest purity levels seen in Caribbean interdictions. But also different cargo, advanced communications equipment, encrypted satellite phones, military-grade GPS systems, and documents, operational plans, network contacts, distribution schemes, intelligence goldmine. DEA analysts spend weeks analyzing everything, building comprehensive picture of trafficking network. What emerges is stunning. This operation connected to larger international network, Venezuelan military, Colombian cartels, Mexican distribution, Russian weapons suppliers. Multi-billion-dollar enterprise, using military submarines, state protection, global connections. The network exposed. Pentagon Alert obtained classified intelligence assessments. The submarine operations represent small fraction of larger network. Venezuelan military operates at least 8 submarines covertly, not all used for trafficking. Some still maintain military readiness, but several dedicated to narco operations. Estimated revenue: $2 to $3 billion annually from submarine trafficking alone. Split between Cartel del Sol, Venezuelan military cartel, Colombian suppliers, and corrupt officials. Money funds regime survival, pays military loyalty, maintains political control. Without this revenue, Maduro government would collapse. This is why Venezuelan submarines run drugs, economic necessity, regime survival, willingness to risk international incidents. The crew's fate. 54 personnel arrested total across 3 submarines. All face federal drug trafficking charges, possible life sentences. Venezuelan government issues pro forma protest, claims U.S. violated sovereignty, demands crew return. But doesn't push too hard, because they know. These operations sanctioned at highest levels. Evidence would embarrass regime. Crew members begin cooperating, provide detailed testimony, describe command structure, name senior officials. Justice Department builds comprehensive case, not just against captured crews, against Venezuelan military leadership. Indictments issued for 14 Venezuelan admirals and generals, including Minister of Defense, asset freezes, travel bans, international warrants. Won't result in arrests, but sends message. We know who you are. We know what you did. Consequences exist. The operational aftermath. 3 submarines seized, 10.1 metric tons cocaine interdicted, 94 weapons confiscated, $560 million street value denied to cartels. Major operational success, largest submarine drug interdiction in history, 3 boats in 1 week. But here's the reality. 8 Venezuelan submarines reportedly operational, 3 captured leaves 5 active. Operations will continue, different routes, better planning, improved security. This is endless cycle, interdict some, others adapt, traffic continues. If you support aggressive interdiction operations, type Pentagon Alert. The submarine modification. Technical analysis of captured submarines reveals extensive modifications specifically for trafficking operations conducted by Venezuelan military engineers with cartel input. Cargo spaces expanded by 40%, torpedo tubes converted to storage, crew quarters minimized, everything optimized for maximum cargo capacity. Navigation systems upgraded, commercial GPS added, satellite communication installed, better than original military equipment. Life support extended, CO2 scrubbers enhanced, oxygen generation improved, allows longer submerged operations. These modifications represent millions in investment, professional engineering, military expertise, state resources. Not amateur operation. This is professional military trafficking, state-sponsored narcotics warfare. The geopolitical implications. This situation creates significant diplomatic challenges. Venezuela is sovereign nation. Submarines are military assets, but being used for criminal activity. How does international community respond? Economic sanctions already maxed out, diplomatic isolation already complete, military action disproportionate. Pentagon develops new deterrent strategy, announce comprehensive anti-submarine surveillance, make Caribbean inhospitable for underwater trafficking. Deploy additional assets, more submarines, more maritime patrol aircraft, more sonobuoy barriers. Make submarine trafficking too risky, too difficult, too expensive. Force return to traditional methods. The intelligence value. Beyond interdictions, captured submarines provide massive intelligence value. Complete examination of Venezuelan naval capabilities. Sonar signatures recorded, acoustic profiles analyzed, detection methods refined, future tracking improved. Crew interrogations reveal operational procedures, navigation routes, communication protocols, security measures. Documents seized show network connections, distribution channels, financial arrangements, corruption networks. This intelligence enables follow-on operations, targeting cartel infrastructure, disrupting financial networks, arresting key personnel. Submarines captured, but intelligence warfare continues. The future threat. Venezuela won't stop submarine trafficking. Too profitable, too important, too embedded in regime survival. But methods will evolve. Smaller submarines, better stealth, improved technology, enhanced security. Next generation might use autonomous systems, unmanned underwater vehicles, remote operation, no crew to arrest. Or semi-submersibles with hybrid capability, surface running combined with submerged transit, harder to classify, more difficult to interdict. Technology always advances, traffickers always adapt, authorities must stay ahead. The quiz answer. Remember the question: how long can diesel-electric submarines operate submerged? Answer: B. 72 hours maximum for Venezuelan Type 209 boats. Newer submarines can stay down longer. Kilo-class boats reach 96 hours. Modern air-independent propulsion systems enable weeks. But Venezuelan boats are old, technology limited, 72 hours maximum, then must surface for air and battery recharge. That's vulnerability. That's when detection happens. That's when interdiction occurs. The critical questions. 3 issues demand consideration. First, how many submarine trafficking operations succeeded before these captures? Intelligence suggests dozens of previous successful runs. Second, will Venezuela escalate to protect future operations? Military escorts, armed resistance, direct confrontation? Third, when other nations adopt this method, North Korea, Iran, rogue states with submarine capability and narcotics connections? Submarine trafficking represents evolution in narco-warfare, state assets, military technology, global networks. This is threat Pentagon Alert exposes. This is reality mainstream media ignores. This is why vigilance matters. Pentagon Alert, where we reveal the threats traveling beneath the surface. Subscribe now. Enable all notifications. Share this investigation, because next submarine could surface anywhere, anytime. And you'll hear about it here first. Pentagon Alert out.